Tammy, you were just sitting in this chair yesterday interviewing Laura Shin for our Speak Bold Fireside Chat series. And we are now on episode number 4. We have already had 4 amazing women. Do you want to talk a little bit about how yesterday went?
Just so proud of all the guests that we've had on our Fireside Chat series, Speak Bold. So we've had, recently, yesterday, we had Laura Shin, which I've been a longtime fan of for, 7 years since she came out with her podcast, Unchained. She recently just launched her book a couple of weeks ago called Cryptopians.
100 years from now, what would I want people, to know about the founding of Ethereum or really more just the adoption of crypto?
It's a historical reference book with amazing stories tied to it about how, like, the Ethereum ecosystem got started. I don't know, you'll have to watch and see when it comes out, because there are some explanations about, how she came to write the book, but then also some personal nuggets, some personal Laura Shin words of wisdom. And so I had an amazing discussion with her. She's so talented and so nice. And so I'm just super excited to release that upcoming Speak Bold Fireside Chat.
Yeah, I am too. Our first episode just tipped 2 million views.
That's right.
Which is incredible.
That's right.
So we just released Edith Harbaugh from Launch Darkly, and that was incredible. Her story is also incredible.
Being a unicorn was never the goal. Being a successful company was our goal. It's not like you get the Forbes article and you shut the company.
She's one of those unique, talented individuals that is running one of the, most successful developer tool companies within Silicon Valley. And again, we're just so excited to have her on this series. And she was sharing her story about her journey of building Launch Darkly. And it's just the grit and determination that she's had over these years to kind of achieve like where she is today is just so remarkable.
Very impressive with like the takeaways, just like hard work. There's going to be a lot of obstacles along the way, and you still have to just keep going. It was really inspiring to listen to. We are here to talk about today our success the last 3 months at Stronghold. That's why these roundups exist.
Yeah. That's exactly. So we've had a lot of wins this quarter.
A lot of wins.
So many wins. Starting with the launch of Stronghold Capital, which is our ecosystem fund that invests in companies that are within our ecosystem that focus on Web3, fintech applications, or is an underrepresented founder, which I'm super passionate about. So, we've made 4 investments to date, and we are excited to continue making those investments for companies, again, that are, within our ecosystem or plan to build in our ecosystem as it relates to our developer APIs and our financial services APIs. And so we're just really excited to kind of hit that milestone. It's a big one.
Do you want to talk a little bit about a couple of the investments we've already done?
So we invest in founders and fund managers. And so one of the first fund managers that we invested in is actually Charles Hudson, which is, he's the founder of Precursor Ventures, which is another venture firm here in Silicon Valley. They invest in a lot of underrepresented founders, and that is just opening up access to not just financial services, but just all these other channels within their investment fund. So it really aligns nicely with what we're trying to achieve here at Stronghold, and I couldn't be more thrilled to partner with them.
So we've heard the word capital come up with another of one one of our recent announcements, which is the merchant financing program. Do you want to tell us a little bit about what that is?
When we talk about capital, there's different types of capital. So a lot of people within this ecosystem are very attuned to venture capital, right? That's when an investor comes in and they give a company capital in exchange for their equity, right? That's how Silicon Valley works. But when you're outside of this ecosystem, and this is how most businesses function, to get access to capital, you typically have some other financing options. Taking out of a loan is the most popular one. And in this case, merchant financing is a repayment based off of a factor rate, not APR. So that's the difference. And it's actually very common for payment companies like Stronghold to be able to offer a product such as this to the businesses that are in our ecosystem. We're excited for the launch of this product because we've had businesses already sign up for it, and it's helping them grow their business. And I couldn't be more proud of expanding the financial access to the businesses that are in our ecosystem.
Yeah, and it seems like for those businesses, this is a pretty straightforward way to get financing. How quickly can you get financing?
We can turn it around in 48 hours. So, if people are transacting on our payments platform, it's really amazing because we have a risk score that they have, because we can see the transactions that kind of come through our platform. So we use, technology to assess and give them that score. And then, they always have that score on a rolling basis, and we're able to make a decision pretty quickly.
So we have listed on a number of exchanges recently, but our most recent one is KuCoin. What's so special about KuCoin?
KuCoin is actually one of the top 5 exchanges in the world, and so their reach is actually quite broad. And again, our vision here at Stronghold is to build a more inclusive, stable, and connected global economy. And so with adding this global exchange listing, we feel like we're one step closer to fulfilling that vision, because KuCoin has such a broad reach as it relates to, providing financial access to some of these rails that might not be available in some jurisdictions. So we're super excited to partner with them.
So that's a lot of exciting news about Stronghold. We have a lot of stuff coming up in 2022, and you have some conferences you're gonna speak at. You're gonna go to Consensus in Austin and then Collision in Toronto. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I'm super excited to go to Consensus, which is one of the largest crypto conferences in the world. And this year, they're going to be having it in Austin, Texas, which is a great city. It's warm, it's vibrant. I'm super excited to be able to participate in Consensus this year and be able to connect with all of the leaders and the peers and quite frankly, all of the people who are just learning and coming into the space. So as it relates to Collision, which is located in Toronto, it's actually put on by the same folks that put on Web Summit and Founders and Rise, which is in Hong Kong. And they have a North American event called Collision, and it's where technologists kind of get together and again connect, teach, and embrace all the folks that are currently technologists or who want to be technologists. And it covers an array of different topics at a very high level. So it's like a lot of SaaS companies, it's a lot of fintech companies, it's basically a big conglomeration of people doing different applications with computer science. So
Wow.
we're super excited about it. And I'm super excited to be participating in it. And I believe that I'll be, participating in the blockchain track. So this is the first time that they're reintroducing blockchain, I think, in many, many years. And so I'm so honored that they even thought about me to kind of participate in it. So I'm really looking forward to going to Toronto and participating in Collision.
Absolutely. A lot to look forward to. But before we do that, it is a regular Tuesday morning, and I guess we should both get back to work.
There's a lot of things that, we're trying to achieve. So stay tuned, because there's a lot of things that we have, that we'll be releasing in Q2, Q3, and the rest of 2020. So we're super excited about it. And thank you so much for sitting and chatting with me.
Absolutely. Same to you. And we'll circle back and do this again sometime in the future.
Amazing.